Hey everyone, We're Nim here, and I just wanted to take a moment to show off my favorite ship, which is the Switchblade. It's a ship that I've been using for a really long time in my game, and it has served me very well in a lot of heavy encounters. And usually the way I like to test a build is as soon as it's finished, I will jump over to Crix and I will take on every ship at once at the key, and if I am successful in eliminating all of them without blowing up, the ship is usually pretty good in my judgment. So, it has passed that test, and this was the sort of final result out of that crucible, and I'm going to show you how to build it. First, let's take a tour. The ship is built out of primarily Nova Galactic modules. There's 3 2x1s and 1 1x1. We are using 6 Sextant C400 cargo containers and 2 shielded cargo containers. We have all of the Crimson Fleet cargo scanner deflection modules. We have the virtually every, except for one, or maybe 2. We maybe have 2 of the recent, or how do I put this? We don't have 2 out of the 11 or 12 or so attachments that have been added since the new update for free lanes. But this is the ship. And so we will start from the bow, which is where our docking port is. And this is a 2x1 living space, which you are all familiar with, and has been just decorated and feels very lived in with the amount of trash that's just hanging out everywhere because nobody cleans up after themselves. I try to keep things tidy, put things away and tuck them into little corners and stuff when I can. This is a empty workshop hab that has been turned into a workshop, but things have been organized in such a way that it flows a lot better for multiple crew members, and we have the added benefit of being able to turn the second half of this area into a dedicated med bay. So we've got our med beds and diagnostic equipment. We've got our chem lab and our research station all back here. We've got a little lab set up with our biological waste, and the whole area being repurposed for that function. Just it feels pretty good. So that's why I chose it. And then we still have all the necessary things for making this feel like a proper workshop. We've got our industrial workbench, our spacesuit and weapon bench, and then we have a crate here that has all of our upgrade materials sitting next by, and then we also have a chest for stored weapons and suits that we want to work on and swap out and upgrade. This is our companionway that connects us to the command deck. And I call it a command deck because I like to put the control hab and the cockpit together in sort of a like this is how I would imagine it would actually function kind of deal. The fact that there's a kitchen here is just it's one of those weird quirks of it being a Nova Galactic hab. The bridge is the only part of the ship, the interior, that is not Nova Galactic. This is a Taiyo Himeji hab, and this ship originally started out as a ecliptic stiletto and was modified into the ship that you see now. And it's been, somewhat decorated. But that is the grand tour. And now I will show you how to build it. So I like to start on Titan because this is where you can get most of the Nova Galactic pieces. And it's really helpful if you can start from either a Crimson Fleet Haunt or a stiletto, an eclectic stiletto, because you can have the bridge right away and a couple of other necessary pieces. The Crimson Fleet Haunt is even better because you already start with one of these shielded cargo, and that'll save you some money. But yeah, let's go ahead and use this as the base for building our new Switchblade. So right off the bat, we're going to select everything and then deselect these two items. And we're just going to delete everything else. Let's move this off to the side. And we're going to start by adding our halves. We're going to add our control station to the back. Below the control station at the forward end, we're going to add a storeroom. Then attached to this, we're going to add another 2x1, and this is going to be an empty workshop. And then in front of that, we are going to place a Nova Galactic all-in-one 2x1B. I think that is what we are using. It's been a while since I rebuilt this, so don't destroy me if I'm mistaken. And then we're going to attach this cargo here. We are going to attach additional cargo. These 400 cm sextant cargo modules. We are going to use the docker from the Crimson Fleet ship temporarily. Other temporary parts that we're going to use are the gear. So we'll use this, and we're probably going to need more gear, so we will add an additional Nova Galactic landing gear there. And this is going to be replaced by a frog foot from Hope Tech. Next, we're going to add a fuel tank. I like to go with the H30. Just feels very race car like with the checkered flag pattern on it. And then we are going to add our grav drive in the middle. And we're going to go with the Aurora 13G. And then below that is where our reactor is going to go. And that's going to be our 104 Dog Star. Next, we're going to put just a Nova Galactic bay down here for now. They're cheap. They don't. We're not really saving money that much by keeping the old part in that situation, and this is going to maintain the same layout. For engines, we're going to use the Dun 71s, and we're going to use 3 of them. I'd like to point out that none of the components in this build need to be glitched. They all come together without any special techniques or glitches or mods. You can just build this stock with all the vanilla pieces. So this is a great sort of starter to mid-level ship. It really helps if you've, of course, got all of the necessary perks for starship engineering or rather a starship design, and for you to have a pilot license of at least B class, which is I think tier 3. So you won't be able to install this engine otherwise. And aside from that, you should be golden. Next thing we're going to add is our other landing gear. And we'll just go with these NG-15s. And then one other thing that we're going to add, and this is more of a temporary thing, but we sort of need it to keep the attachments. So we're going to add these bracers, and then we're going to put on these armor platings. This is all part of the look. No function, all style, no substance. And then we're also going to save ourselves some money by adding an equipment plate up there. Everything else is going to be weapons focused. We're going to put those there, and then we're also going to put a pair of wings on here. And we will move these later. But we at least just want to get the weapons on here. Now the weapons I use, again, you don't have to use these, but this is what I use in my setup. And I find it really effective. It's a good balance. I use the Hunter Mag 450 missile launcher. I use a pair of these. I think they're just a really good sort of mid-range choice between ammo capacity, damage, reload speed, all that fun junk. I think these are some of the best mid-tier missile launchers you can use. And plus, they kind of match the aesthetic that I went for with the ship, with the black and orange motif. For our energy weapons, I go with the PB-175 Auto Hellions. I picked 2 of those. And then for ballistics, I use the KE-49 autocannons. That is not wanting to behave. Okay. Fine. We'll just do that. And then one other important thing, before we add any other equipment elements, we're going to add the buoyant insulators. That's just going to make everything work right off the bat. And I suppose we should probably put some shields on here too. So we'll go with the premium shield package and get the 28T Defender shield generator. It's for maximum shields. Now we just need to set up our weapons. So this is going to be our Hellion beam, that's going to be our autocannon, and that's going to be our missiles. And we're good. Let's give everything a nice fresh coat of paint. This is the paint style that I use for the Switchblade. I tend to go toward a more reddish orange so that I can match the color of the clips in the KE-49s. It gets that nice bronze color, adds a little pop of visual interest, and that's going to do it. So we're going to accept this. I'm going to make this my home ship for now. Now we're going to go to our next stop, which is Hopetown. Hopetown is in the Valo system on Polvo. So this is where we're going to get our landing gear. So first we're going to delete this, and we're going to add the bay, because this will add a few more attachment points. We're going to add the hoped for landing bay. What? Where are you? Okay, there we go. So we're going to drag our wings down to the bottom. And they're going to attach to the landing bay there. Next, we're going to get rid of these landing gear. Let's go to gear. We're going to add the Hope 5. And we're going to attach it to the grav drive and reactor. Because I think physically, in terms of like just the overall weight of the ship and where the support is needed most, this just makes the most sense. And then that weight is distributed between the two heavy landing gear for the heaviest components and the cantilevered portion of the ship, which is out here. It's not actually cantilevered because we are putting an actual landing gear out here. But that's going to go there, and then we're also going to add our docking port here up front. So a couple other things that we're going to add, which are some windows. I like putting one here. Putting one here over the ladder that climbs up through here. I think that's a good spot. And then putting one down here so that we can see below into our cargo bay and the ground below us. Now, everything else is pretty much where it should be. We can start adding our additional weapon ports, because we will need them. Let's pick an item that we actually have all of our colors for. And we will select everything and just recolor all of our stuff. All right. And now we're going to make one final stop. And that is at Parima. Did I? Oh, okay, no. The game just glitched, so it's mixing up all the pieces. We should be okay, though. We should still be able to, or maybe not. Okay. Fantastic. Well, these things happen. Fortunately, there is a solution. We can just get in our buggy. And we can zoom off here. Get a considerable distance away from the ship. And then just teleport in. Come on. There we go. So now we are going to Porima. And specifically, we are going to the Red Mile. Because the Red Mile is the one place that we can get the last necessary components of our build. And we're going to go visit my favorite cranky ship technician. I just love him. He's so cranky. Hello, Lon. That is not what I wanted. I want to view and modify my ship. Okay, so what is left to do? We need another one of these babies on the other side. We're going to add a bunch of equipment here. We're going to add our single, our dual, and our multi scan jammer attachments. We're also going to add the, where is it? Here it is. We're going to add the stealth drive. I'm going to move this down here because it fits. I'm going to duplicate these equipment parts, these equipment plates, so that we can add a few more attachments. Up front, I like to add the shield pulse, and then also the anti-targeting system. I like to put that right in front of the cockpit. For this back piece here, I add the extended comm array and also the repair system overdrive. On this attachment piece, I'll add the, where is it? Shield refractor. And on this one, I will add the microreactor. And that pretty much covers all the equipment. The one last thing I will do is I will get rid of these and I will add the Stroud engine bracer, because these fit the aesthetic a bit better. They're less boxy and bulky. And that's going to complete the build. Now you still have options for attaching additional weapons here. Like, for example, if you didn't want to use these and you wanted to go for a set of 4 of the Vanguard A-tier blasters, you could definitely do that as an option. You can also add an additional equipment plate back here for some more add-ons. I find that these 6 pieces of equipment are really all that I need. And then, yeah, with the additional reactor capacity, you can basically, without the additional reactor capacity, you can still fully power every single one of these systems and still potentially have a bar left over for your grav drive if you have somebody else in your crew who has the anuronic perk as part of their crew skill. And that's going to do it, at least for the exterior of the ship. Thanks, Lou. You know, it's funny that like this airlock literally just does not seal the airlock. Uh, everybody inside the Red Mile should be dead. There's no way that that thing is airtight. So there you have it. That is how you build the Switchblade. We can go inside and I can show you like some of the basic decorating arrangements that I've done, so that you can, you know, make a similar layout. But effectively, what you'll want to do is set up your industrial workbench over here in this alcove. Just plop it down right there. And your pharmaceutical lab is going to fill this alcove over here. Your research lab is going to go right next to it in this little corner here. As soon as it stops freaking out. Here, good enough. And then your spacesuit workbench, I like to put it in this corner because the table, the way it sort of wraps around toward the wall, I think that just works better for flow. And then the weapon workbench can go right next to it. To finish off the medical lab, you can go over to beds, and you can select whichever of the 2 surgical beds that you like. I tend to like the one that is leaning up, and we just shove it in that corner there. And then if you go over to the decorations, we can get the diagnostic machine and stick it right next to it. And then some other useful things. If we go to utility carts, we can add a medical tray over here. And that's pretty much going to complete the setup. That's all you really need. There's the other, you know, customizations that I had. Like I had the bounty terminal placed over here, and then a water cooler next to it. The ship optimization panel, I placed this in the control module right here on this panel because I thought functionally the way it's set up with the grip handle here and the screen, the length of it, where it reaches over to this control panel, I just functionally thought this made a lot more sense. In the cockpit, there's a couple of things I did that were decorative, which was I added a couple of computer panels. Which I don't have enough aluminum for right now. But essentially, I used a double wide piece. I think it was this one here. Yeah, I used number 5 console desk and number 2 console desk next to it over here. And then I placed a chest down here, which has my most used gear that I swap out. It's placed underneath the cargo hull manifest. And then I had another chest that was over here, and it was for costume changes. So if I want to switch into like a Crimson Fleet outfit or a UC security outfit, or for whatever reason, or like a first military outfit, I have all those distinct costumes and stuff stored in a chest right here. And then Captain's Locker, I tend to put my full collection of books, and every data slate that I collect goes in there. But that is fundamentally how the Switchblade is set up and works. And you can see this is the default setup for the all-in-one B. And you can decorate this however you like. You can see that I did get the wrong 1x1 hab here. It's not the storeroom, it's the companionway. So I can fix that, but you already know what that looks like. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like the look of the ship. I certainly do. I think it's one of the snazzier, more stylish looking ships in the Starfield universe. I don't think it looks like a brick. And if you build it or if you make some modifications to it, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video.